The next challenge is also about your imagination, because you have to solve it without looking at the chessboard in your mind. Don't worry, this is the last exercise that you have to do blindly, and in this one you will have to use the diagonals. If you know what the chess piece bishop is, then it's easy for you. Otherwise, I will briefly explain to you what a bishop is. Well, the bishop is a piece that moves diagonally as far as it wants. For example, white bishop can go in this direction or in the other direction. Oh, that's obviously wrong. So it moves to e1 or a5. As far as it wants, it can do that. Black's bishop can also do the same. You don't need to regard the colors. It's just how a bishop can move. And also, if you have a bishop on the white square, it can also do the same, move in any direction diagonally as far as it wants. And an interesting piece of information for the bishop is that the bishop cannot change its square color. If it starts on black, it stays on black. But since you can move a bishop twice, for example this one, you can start here, move it to the square e5 and then move it to b8. So this bishop cannot move to b8 directly, but in two moves it can get to any square on the board. And this is the task that you have to solve. I will give you two squares, and I'm using the bishops, but you can also use pawns or anything that you like. Well, imagine in your head, it's anyway. And my goal is in this position to get the squares through which the bishop has to move. So for example, in this case, the correct way to solve it is to move either via the f6 square or to move through the a5 square. That's the two possible solutions in that case. So I need to get from you a5 and f6. If you do that, you have solved the task. Now you should obviously ask yourself, well, how can I do it? Because it's pretty hard to imagine without the board. And this one I will explain right away. So first of all, let's give you a task. I will do it like this. You can use the same color, different colors, it doesn't matter. So we start with this exercise. You have to move from e2 to d7. And the goal, well, the way to get it is just do it with small steps. So first of all, you have to decide, are you going on the right side or on the left side? And let's say we start with the right side. So we start with e2 and we move our bishop one square diagonally, because that's how a bishop moves, to the right. Only one square. I'm showing you the procedure over the board, but obviously you have to do it in your mind later. So we start on f3, and now that's it so far. We go now from the square f3 to the left side. So we start here, we use now this diagonal, and we traverse it each square-wise. So first of all, we start with f3 and then we go to e4. Is e4 the square we are looking for? No, it's not, because it's d7, so let's do another step. It's only one single step, but you have to repeat the same procedure over and over again. So it's e4. e4 is not the solution. So the next square from e4 is d5. You can do it because you just learned it with the determining the square color game. So the next square is d5. Is this our solution? No, because we need to get to d7, so it's not the right solution. Let's do it again. What about from d5, the next square to the left is c6. Is c6 the correct square? No, it's not, because we need to get to d7, so let's do another one. Is B7 the right square? No, it's not. Now either you can notice, well, we are too far off because B7 goes already in the wrong direction. If you like, you can also do it another way to get to A8, and then, well, you notice this diagonal is not the diagonal we are looking for, so F3 is not the solution. Therefore, we just move everything back and we start again on F3. F3 was 1 square to the right, so we go 2 squares to the right. So from F3 we go to G4. Now we are on G4 and we do the same thing again. So we check the diagonal. I will well, make it blue for you, but obviously you don't see the colors, you don't see the diagonal, but this is the path we are going through. And we start with 1 step. So from G4, 1 step to the left is F5. Is F5 the solution? No. Let's make another one from F5 to E6. Is E6 the right solution? Again, no. Is E6 to D7 the right solution? Well, yes, D7 is the square we are looking for. Therefore, our solution is G4. And then we can, write it down, remember, just G4 is one of the solutions. So let's make it back again. I will still color it blue because it's one of the solutions. Usually there are 2, and now we are looking for the second one. So we start again on E2 and we repeat the same process but in the other direction. So we start from E2 and we are going 1 step to the left, and 1 step to the left from E2, that means we are coming to D3. So from D3 we are going through the whole diagonal to the right. We make it stop right here and change the diagonals, and we test if the 3 is the right solution, the square we are looking for, to go through to reach D7. So square E4, is this the correct square? No, it's not. F5, is it correct? No. Next one, G6, correct? No. And H7, no. Okay, then D3 is not our path, our solution. We have to get to the next square. So D3 was 1 square from the initial square to the left. C4 is 2 squares from the initial square to the left. And now we are doing the same and we go to the right. So let's start. 1 from C4 to the right, the whole diagonal. So D5, no. E6, no. F7, again, no. You can start here if you notice that you are too far off already, if you have like imagination of the whole board, but if you don't, you can also make the last step, and G8, no. Then C4 is not the solution. Well, then let's try to get to B5. This is the third square from our initial square E2. So 3 steps to the left, and now we check again if we can check it. So we move to the right, and no, that's not the solution. We make another step, and yeah, this is our final square. Therefore, we have our 2 solutions, namely one is the square G4, the other one is B5, and all the process that I explained to you, it's doable in your own mind without any help of the board. And if you now understood the game, we can come to the exercises. And here they are. First of all, the rules again, just to visualize it. You have to solve it blindly. And if it helps you, you can use again the chessboard, but the backside of it, so you don't see the patterns or the squares. And if it helps you, you can start with additional like pawns, pieces, coins that mark, so to speak, the squares that you are going through. And the less help you take for it, the better. So here are the challenges for you. And again, if it takes up to 10 minutes even, that's fine. Take your time. It's more important for you to solve the task correctly rather than solve it quickly. So again, let's start with the first challenge. It's getting from the square e4 to e6. You can stop and take your time, and then continue the video, and you will see each solution after another. So first of all, e4 to e6. And now the both solutions of it, the squares are d5 and f5. Next challenge, from d2 to e5. And the solution is as following. Next one is c4 to g4. Here's the solution. Next one from c7 to g5. And here's the solution from f2 to d8. Here's the solution of it. Next challenge, c1 to d8. This one only has one solution, since the other one gets through the border and it's not possible. And the next one is to get from e2 to b6. The solution is, there are no solutions because e2 is a white square and b6 is a black square, so it even doesn't have any solutions. And finally, from h3 to a6. And these are the solutions. So I hope you could master it, because the next one will be definitely more fun, but you have the worst part behind you already.